I didn't advertise it and I did not schedule it. So I do apologize for not giving you any notice regarding this live. Welcome to BlaXit if you're new to the channel. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Welcome to BlaXit. It's a very beautiful, hot, sunny day. And I'm awfully hot. It's beautiful here in sunny Gambia in the west coast of Africa, and BlaXit is a channel that is dedicated to your relocation, repatriation, back to your nation, back to Africa. So welcome to BlaXit. Thank you for joining us. BlaXit is all about us taking that journey, that all-important journey back to Africa. I originally came here to live in 2019, although my first visit here was in 2011. I'm Nyacho Kajabi, also known as Juliet. So welcome to BlaXit. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I've come on quickly for many reasons. Firstly, to let you know that my good old faithful, my lovely good old faithful phone, which you've been contacting me on, I dropped it and I broke the screen. So I just want you to know that you cannot contact me on that WhatsApp for the time being until I get it fixed this week. So I do apologize for all repatriates that are in the process of coming back, or if you're in the process of acquiring your repatriation plots. I do apologize for the slight delay, but you can contact me directly if you wish. But I'm not going to migrate the WhatsApp because I don't want to lose those all-important messages. Thank you for the 5 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Please add to them if you don't mind. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I haven't put contents on because everybody that are my moderators are at the beach today because it's Tabaski, which is the public holiday, and everybody that was enjoying their Eid yesterday, Eid Mubarak, thank you for joining us on BlaXit. Thank you for the experience. So as you know, there's been a lot of things happening. The last time I was on a live, if you remember rightly, I couldn't see the writing on the comments and so on. Do you remember? That was because I actually had something wrong with my eyes. I didn't realize. So I'm so grateful to you all for doing the comments and allowing me to recognize that, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. I just didn't realize that I had actually I was like having really blurry vision. It was I felt almost as though I was losing my sight. It was really weird. I've never really had an eye infection before. So I think it was caused by sand when I was on one of my visits. I went far out on a visit and was hit by a lot of sand, and I think that I probably rubbed it into my eyes. So yeah, you know, that being said, I've been wearing sunglasses a lot, as you can see in a lot of my videos, and that is the purpose. I'm just protecting my eyes from now on when I'm outside, especially during windy takes or when there's a lot of wind. So thank you for joining us anyway. Thank you for joining BlaXit. As you know, BlaXit was created, I think, 2011, 25th of April. So it's been a long stay for us. But we didn't formally get put out there until Woda Maya, thankfully for Woda Maya, who helped to obviously relaunch and rebrand our channel in a better way. So thank you also to Woda Maya for doing that. Thank you that's been watching us since Woda Maya. Now, I know that a lot of things have been happening in the world, particularly in the place called Burkina Faso. I hope you've been watching Burkina Faso and been seeing what has been happening there. It has been nothing other than totally amazing. Now, in many aspects amazing, but there are also the negative aspects of them trying to kill our leaders once again, trying to take our leaders out once again. And I want to implore you to please keep supporting Ibrahim Traoré. Do whatever you can do to invest and also to, you know, protect him in any which way. And that also means keeping his name in the public. And we have done so by also changing our, what do you call it? I think it's a profile picture to Ibrahim Traoré, and we are appealing for everybody else to do the same. So if you could please change your profile pictures on all of your social media statuses to Ibrahim Traoré. That is a great way to show support, and also to keep him visible at all times. Visible, sorry. To keep him visible at all times. So I'd like to say thank you so much. I am sorry for my absence, but like I said, I had illness, plus, as you know, I have been having my ongoing divorce court case, which unfortunately is still ongoing, you know, and that is still quite stressful, and it's still very time consuming, and this has been going on since 2022. I've been divorced for over 3 years. And unfortunately, the side regarding the assets, and also the provision of support for our son is still ongoing. So, you know, me being a woman, I still believe there are so many wonderful, wonderful men. So I am not, you know, out there trying to, you know, say anything negative about all men or castrate all men at all. Okay, I want to make that known, that we have wonderful, you know, wonderful, beautiful men out there that stand by their responsibilities and stand by their children. And I really do applaud those men. We also have women that do the same, and I applaud those women, but we also have women that also abandon their responsibilities as well. And I just want you to know that because you get divorced doesn't mean that you divorce your child. And it's important that, you know, you stand by your child, you still look after your child emotionally, psychologically, physically, and financially, okay? And spiritually in many ways, because you're a guide for that child. Don't just disappear because you got divorced, you know. And so, you know, the damage that is done to the children, unfortunately, can last them a lifetime. The trauma, psychological trauma, can last them a lifetime. The abandonment issues that you can give them, you know, can last them a lifetime. You can also cause them to have cognitive dissonance. Okay, so, you know, I just want to say that, you know, what I'm going through is not an easy trial. I'm not looking or seeking sympathy or validation or acceptance from anybody. I'm just letting you know that simply that has been part of the reason why I have been absent, is because I am still going through a very lengthy a court case battle, you know, to get exactly what is mine, what is owed to me during, you know, a settlement agreement that was made that should have just been easily dealt with, hasn't been. And also, I'm fighting for my son to have his father in his life, and also for his father to support him. I shouldn't have to fight for this. It should be an automatic. But as you know, many of us women, you know, unfortunately are left holding all the responsibility, you know, while men travel off. I didn't ask for the divorce, but it was, you know, what I was dealt with. It was a hand that I was dealt with. So I have to deal with the hand that I was dealt with. And for me, I'm going to be honest with you, man asks you for a divorce, I say, okay, then not a problem. I'm not hanging on to no one that don't want me, you see? So that's the reason why. So I just thought I'd just let you in on a little bit of my personal life so that you know that I haven't abandoned you, but I have had other priorities. Unfortunately, I've got oh, sorry, my head is itching me. I think it's sweat. I've got other priorities which I've had to deal with as a matter of urgency. So I do apologise for not being as earnest and putting out as much content as I would like to have. But in the meantime, I do have great news, good news. About Kartong. Kartong is coming amazing. There's a video that is coming your way very shortly about Kartong. Kartong is a wonderful, wonderful area. It's a village just after Gunjur. It's just after Gunjur, and we found a beautiful estate there called, I've called it Serenity Estate, and we've actually demarcated the site, and there are 7 plots left. Some are already gone, and this is a site that is not far from the riverside. It's literally 5 minutes walk to the riverside. Absolutely gorgeous, excuse me, absolutely splendid, very, very beautiful, great location, You come off the highway and you drive down. And the thing is that we've now cleared like 20 meters of the riverside area. So you have your own riverside area. So you can do canoeing, you can do sailing, you can do fishing. And in fact, you know, I've got an idea, but I don't want to put it out there because, you know, some people are bad mind, them too bad mind, them too bad mind. So I've got a great idea to do there, you know, to facilitate at that location. But I don't want to put it out there because, as you know, I've unfortunately been afflicted with people that have seemingly large amounts of jealousy and envy. And, they'd rather see your downfall than see you uplifted. They'd rather try and destroy you rather than uplift you. So because of that fact, I now have to keep a lot of plans and things that I'm doing, undercover and, in secrecy because of people wanting to destroy what I'm trying to create for my own people. And so we have to do that. Look at what they're trying to do to Ibrahim Traoré. And Ibrahim Traoré is doing such wonderful things. How many times are they going to try and kill that man? Take your hands off that man. What he's doing for Africa and for Africans is amazing. And, we should really appreciate him and keep him, in our mind and our hearts at all times, because he absolutely deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you a bit of an insight. Firstly, my phone broke, so that if you were trying to contact me via WhatsApp, that's the reason why. I just wanted to come to let you know. Also, why I haven't been online and doing lives as much is because, like I was saying to you, I had some personal things which I'm also having to deal with, and like I said, I'm embroiled in a lengthy court case. Okay, and so I believe in justice. I believe in doing what's right, and so I will do that. I also have some defamation issues going on as well, where I am actively pursuing people for defaming me because I've had enough. Okay, I've had enough of the lies. I've had enough of the smear campaigns. I've had enough of the gang stalking. I've had enough of the cyberbullying. I've had enough of the cyber harassment. So I'm actually fighting back because I have had enough. Okay, so I am taking things the legal route because I'm sick and tired of people just putting out misinformation and lies about me. It gets to a point where enough is enough, and I've had enough. And I'd like to, if you have anybody who's out there trying to destroy your name, don't let them do it. Okay, you can stay in silence for a while, okay, but after a while, when the lies get so inflated, they get so ridiculous, so untruthful, they get so absolutely made in some fraction of some other distant reality that you've never ever seen or been to, and it certainly doesn't resemble you in any form. Don't take it. Okay, don't take it. So I'm actually taking, as you know, I was taking legal action before, but I've now, upped the ante. I've upped the ante because I've had enough. I've had enough of the liars. I've had enough of the people just, making up information just out of the thin air in order to, try and defame you, trying to character assassinate you. And us as black people, we got to stop it. Us as Africans, we have to not let them doing it. Stop letting them doing it, because they're doing the same thing against Africa. They're doing the same thing. I put out a video today to show you they're doing the same thing against Africa. And the reason why I'm getting it is because I'm calling you to come back home. The reason why I'm doing it is because I'm helping you to repatriate. I'm helping you to settle. People asking me, okay, so you're a repatriation specialist, so what do you do? Everything regarding getting you home. If that means helping you with your shipping, I help with your shipping. If it means helping you to get your tickets, I'll help you to find cheap tickets online. I've even done that for people, going on Skyscanner, going on different flight avenues and whatever to help people. If it means trying to help you find your children a good school here to settle, I've done that. If it means finding you a good rental home to stay in the meantime while you build, I've done that. If it means finding you some land that you can settle on that's within your budget, that you can build on within your budget, I've done that. If that means hooking you up with a good architect and builder, I've done that. If it means also, trying to help you to open your bank account, get your driving license, get your residency, also get your TIN number, I've done that, and I do that. Okay, and so I try and support emotionally, I try and support physically, and I've done it, and I've also done it at no cost. So, you know, because it's in my heart, I'm a Garveyite through and through, and I will keep pushing, I will keep pushing, but I will not have people talking bumper clock BS about me. I had enough, and it's not because it's troubling me, it's because, you know what, I've got children. And that is not the legacy that I'm going to allow to be left. That is not the footprint that I'm going to allow them to leave. Excuse my language. You know, a bit of Jamaican come out in me that time. You understand? You know, I'm not going to allow for that to happen, because it's just not fair and it's not right. Yeah, people are doing this and using my name to get what? Some change on YouTube. Because they're not relevant. So no one wants to hear anything about them. The only time people want to hear anything from them is when they're talking about me. So it's like, you know, they're actually piggybacking off my name, piggybacking off my brand, piggybacking off the hard work that I put in, you know, in order to what? Just to try and get themselves relevant. But they're getting relevant off of putting someone else down from lies and deceit. I don't agree with that. You know, I don't agree with that. I don't know when you was young if you used to get chastised by your parents. If you lied, your parents would chastise you. You would get heavily chastised by your parents for being dishonest. You get chastised by your parents for doing something wrong. I don't know what's happening with some of the people now, like they never got no chastisement. You understand? Like they don't know right from wrong. They don't know left from right. I don't know what's wrong with them. But it's not right. You understand? It's not right. You know, I was brought up, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. So shut your rinked mouth, innit? Take your mouth off of me. So anyway, I just got off my chest, because I'm glad to tell you that this is what I've been preoccupied with, you know, a little bit of fighting back, because some of it is completely unwarranted and some of it is just out of spite, out of, you know, bitchyness, yeah, and just ultimate disrespect, you know, and a lot of jealousy and envy, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it anymore. So anyway, BlaXit has been farming. So let me bring you up to speed as well with a quick update. BlaXit has been farming. Yes, and it's hard work, okay? So if anyone tells you that farming is easy, yeah, it is not. It is really total. I'm telling you, I have backache for days, but I wanted to go and try it. I wanted to go out in the field. I actually wanted to get my hands dirty. I wanted to see what it was like to farm. And so I would definitely tell you, it's definitely worthwhile. And I would definitely say to you, it's something that you should do here. We should grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And there's nothing more rewarding than eating the fruits of your labor. And even today, I ate one of my own pineapples that was grown off of my own land. Okay. And I've got sour saps growing. I've got oranges growing and also mangoes. So please, you know, do that. It's worth it. It's really worth it. If you can't, and you know, you're not able to, employ people who can farm your land for you, because it is worth it. Africa, I don't know about the whole of Africa, but definitely Gambia here is so fertile. It is so fertile, I swear. Yeah, please come back home. Please farm. Please create that, because you know what? During these recent blackouts that happened, I hope there's something. I talked about this 2 years ago. 2 years ago. You know, maybe I'm ahead of my time, but I spoke about it 2 years ago. So these blackouts that happened in France, in Spain, Portugal, and England, right? I spoke about it. What happened during those times? What does it remind you of? That you're not in control. You're not in control of your life. They're controlling your food source. They're controlling your transport. They're controlling every facet of your life. And you need to be free. That's why I keep saying to you, come to Africa, be free. Because you know what? They can't control every facet of your life when you're free. Okay? So if the food stops in Walmart, what you going to do? The food stops in Tesco's or Asda or Sainsbury's or whatever, what you going to do? You understand? You get stuck in a train in the underground, what you going to do? What you going to do? Yeah? When you can't get no more water and you have to drink that recycled, dirty water from the sewage system, what you gonna do? Yeah? What you gonna do? When you can't go and you can't even get toilet paper, what you gonna do? When the sewage systems aren't working anymore, what you gonna do? Those blackouts should have given you a little clue as to what is to come, yeah? We already had the pandemic, so we know what is to come. And don't think that these things happen by mistake. None of them happen by mistake. There ain't no accident in this, okay? There's no accident in this, yeah? And so when I'm calling you to come home, I know what I'm saying. Don't think that what's happening with Ibrahim and Traoré is by accident. It's happening on purpose, and it's a rallying call for you. It is a warning call for you. It is for you to tell you that it's time to be free. I'm here in Africa, okay? I'm out. I got out. And I'm telling you, I have no regrets. I'm loving it. Yes, okay, so I was married when I came. My marriage broke down. Okay, so what? You know, he married a Gambian lady. So what? You know, that's life. I'm still free. I'm still here. I'm still enjoying my life. Yeah, I'm still eating natural food. I'm still enjoying myself. To busk yesterday was lovely. The community, the neighborhood, the sharing, the caring, the giving, you know. It was such a wonderful experience. And such generosity, such kindness and compassion between each other at this time of year. Living here in Africa reminds us of what community is. And I'm telling you, even though, like, I was out today, come back in because I had to make this broadcast today about the phone. But it's been such a wonderful, the last few days have been so wonderful here. You know, it has been really, really lovely. The sense of community, the sense of oneness. And you don't get that back there. I never felt that, like, okay, you know, at Christmas time, I go to the families and then, you know, afterwards we finish our presents and then that's it. It didn't feel like a sense of community, but here it does. Last night, they threw a concert for the children, yeah, in the area, all of the children. Can you imagine? They threw a free concert for all of the children in the area. All the children got dressed up and they went out. Oh, it was lovely. It was, I can't stop. You know, I wish I would have filmed it, you know. It was so lovely, you know, and, you know, they are throwing other concerts tonight, some are paying, some are unpaying. But, you know, it's that sense of community that they wanted children to come out and enjoy themselves and throw that unification, that unity. And the fact that, you know, my son, he's loving it here. He's loving it. And that's what gives me that peace of mind. Is that, you know, okay, so you can have your business here, you can have your shop here, you can have your restaurant here. You know, some people have worked for private companies here. There's a few diasporans here that are working for some telecoms companies here. They have 4 major networks now. I think Chameleon is one of them as well. QCell is one of them. AfriCell is also one of them. And so, you know, like I said to you before in the video when I made about QCell and AfriCell, it's pay as you go. So you're not like having that debt. You also, your internet is pay as you go. So you're not tied into a yearly contract or anything. And so I just find that, you know, living cash as you go is easier. Living in a house that you're not paying any rent for, any mortgage for, it's just mainly maintenance, okay? It's just maintenance. You're not paying any water rates. You're not paying electricity because you get your electricity from solar. And if you want to, and you do want to go with NOEC, which is the electric company, you can do. But even that, the bills are far, far less than what you're paying in the UK. Even car insurance is far, 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 far less than what you pay in England. I never forget when I got my first car insurance, and I got the quote for fully comp, and then I got the quote for third-party fire and theft. I couldn't believe the prices. Like in England, I was paying thousands, and you know, it was just like just over £100. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I tell you, I was just so happy. And so, like I said, you know, the experience here is one that grows on you, you know, and I would say there's also areas for improvement that we could come and bring into the country. There is a pyrolysis program, a huge recycling program does need to be done here. It has been done in other African countries, but the opportunity is right here in Gambia. So if you are into pyrolysis, recycling, upcycling, you know, any kind of those eco projects, then this is the right place for it. If you're looking for even electricity made by water, of course you've got River Gambia. You've got so many rivers here in the Gambia. You've got the big sea surrounded by the Atlantic Sea. So there's so many opportunities here. And I would say that the people are so warm, so friendly, and so loving. And that I'll say that for most of the people. I'm not saying all, because of course you do have sinister characters no matter where you go, and that includes here, you know. And I would say to some of as well, because someone told me off and said to me, Juliet, you know, there's been some incidents and you haven't spoken about it, you know, with regard to romance scamming and that kind of thing. So I would like to say, just to be discerning, you know, you don't obviously go into a relationship with the first person that you meet. And you must get to know them. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, the situation is the same. You find opportunists everywhere that will befriend you, obviously, because they think that you're going to better their life, or they're just going to want things for you. And then as soon as they've got what they wanted, they're going to, you know, dump you, yeah? And they will do it ruthlessly. And I don't want anybody to, you know, consider taking their lives or to get depressed or to get too attached. So the best way to do that is to be discerning. It's like there was an acronym, I think it's called MEET, which is about knowing, like making sure that you value your time, your energy, yeah, your attention, okay, and your presence, me, in the process. And I think that when you do relationships, it's often enough that you do that also, because I don't want people to get duped, okay? I don't want people to get duped and feel that, okay, this person who's only met me for 5 minutes is telling me they love me. Do you really think they love you after 5 minutes? No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't love you after 5 minutes. So don't be silly now, okay? Take your time to get to know people. Take your time to get to know their families. Take your time to get to know their character, okay? And there's no rush. There's no rush to get married. You don't have to run and get married within a month or 2 months of just landing here, okay? So take your time. There are cultural differences that you have to learn. There are religious, you know, differences, different mores, different values that you have to learn, and you have to learn to respect those culture and respect those people as well. So, but like I said, invariably there are opportunists, and some of it has been caused by, I'm sorry to say this, if you want to take offense, take offense, but some unscrupulous kinds of tourists here that usually are European, that come as sex tourists. And they do it. You know, I'm going to tell the truth. You know, there are some of these women that come and, you know, they're almost grandmothers, and they come looking for these white old women, come looking for these young, fine, you know, African men. And so they are spoiling it. They are spoiling it. They are. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not going to pretend. And not just the women, the men as well come looking for the very young Gambian women. And, you know, there needs to be a stop made to that, because they are just sometimes, they are just exploiting them because they don't have the money. So it goes both ways. They're also exploiting them because they know that maybe they come from a poor family. Not all people come from poor families, I'm just saying. But I am saying that, you know, we need to be mindful of that, and we need to be mindful of the reputation that we are allowing people to have about Africa. At the end of the day, nowhere is perfect. But Africa, we're allowing people to destroy the reputation of Africa, and we need to stop this, okay? Even our own people. Look at what that Langley said about Ibrahim Traoré. Is that a joke? You know, and they had to use their own black people to do it. They had to go and pull out one of our own black people to do it. You know, and so what I'm trying to say is that, yes, they will use our own to destroy us. They did it with Marcus Garvey. They did it with Malcolm X. They did it with Martin Luther King. They did it with the Black Panthers. Everybody, you know, they've done it with so many of our freedom fighters over the years. They've done it with everybody. But you know what? We have to now stand up and say, we're not going to allow you to do this to our leaders. So I'm so proud of everybody that took to the streets and have marched all over the world for Ibrahim Traoré. I just want to say that I applaud you, I salute you, I respect you, and I thank you for standing by African leader, because he is giving us what we need, which is African solidarity, African unity. Okay, we need this. We need African solidarity, African unity, because we need to rebuild people's faith in Africa, because Africa is not what the picture that people have painted Africa as. You know, they've really mispainted Africa. I can tell you from living here. Yeah, I'm living my life. I'm enjoying my life much better than I would in Europe, because you have a life. If you ask me right now, you know, where my son is, I'll tell you not exactly where he is for security reasons, but he's enjoying himself with his friends, you know, on the beach, as he should do for family day, you know. And so what I'm saying is that you have a different life. But it's nice to be among your own people. It's nice to feel welcomed. It's nice to feel at home. That's the word that I want to say. It's nice to feel at home, and it's nice to feel appreciated. I know this is a bit of a different live because I've had a bit of a rant about everything. And apologies, like I said, about my phone. I will try and get that fixed as soon as possible, okay? So that I'm back online this week. I'm using a spare phone that I have in order to make this broadcast, but it doesn't have anything on it because I only used to use it occasionally for filming, so I don't have anyone's details, and I don't have my other WhatsApp on there or anything, so I'm just letting you know that. But I'm telling you, coming here to live in 2019 has been the best decision I've made. I have not gone back to Europe or to England or to America or for anywhere since coming to Africa. Only I've traveled within Africa itself, and those trips have been ultra amazing, you know, and we have had so much impact, and I'm so proud of so many people that we have touched their lives. Usman Traoré, I'm so proud of you and, you know, your accomplishments. Tony, I'm so proud of you and your accomplishments. So many people whose lives we've touched, I'm very proud of you. And yes, we are still carrying on with our campaigning with regard to the citizenship, but obviously it's going through the lengthy process of Parliament, and these things take time. So I am hoping that it will be sorted and concluded shortly. There will be another campaign which will be running next year, and so I'm hoping that that will also help to remedy and speed the process up. Just an awareness bringing campaign that we are planning for now. So without much further ado, I will say thank you so much to all of the loyalty that you have shown me over the years of me doing BlaXit. I do want to thank you so much, because it's you that's kept me going. It's you that's kept me motivated. Even, you know, during my worst time when I was heartbroken and down, you know, you kept me going. So I want to say thank you to you. Without you, you know, you gave me motivation, you gave me the will, and for everybody that's, you know, come and supported and has come and bought repatriation land, has come and built their homes, have come and lived permanently here, I want to say thank you for believing and thank you for staying the course, because it's so important what you have done. You've been instrumental in changing the paradigm. You've been instrumental in changing the projection of our future. By us coming back to Africa, we are showing people that it's possible. We're showing people that it exists, that another life exists. It's like living in a parallel universe. It really is, and it exists. You know, they talk about heaven and hell. I feel like I died and went to heaven. I swear down, I wake up so happy. I sleep so sweet. I don't have the stress that I used to have. And I'm telling you, you see this land in Khartoum? This land has a feeling to it. That's why I called it Serenity. I swear, it's like spiritual. And the plots are going reasonable, okay? The plots have already been demarcated and they are going very, very reasonable, okay? Okay, I acquired this land. I acquired this land because I want you to have somewhere where you can stay and you can open up your eyes and say, wow, how amazing is my life? Wow, how amazing is Africa? Okay, so I've done it and I've kept it well below market value for that area, especially water size plots. Water, any plots near water, of course, they have much high value, and it is not tourist development area. It is not TDA. Okay, so you can try and contact me via my personal email, because my other email is in my phone. So you're going to have to use info at no, sorry, wrong one. bobcollective@yahoo.com until I can get back access to my email, because I didn't put it on the computer. I kept that one on the phone because you never know when you give your computer out to be fixed or whatever. So I kept that one on my phone. So that was at bobcollective@yahoo.com. Because as you know, looking at Ibrahim and Traoré, you can see how they have infiltrated, how they've used agents, how they've used undercover people, how they've used his own people to come against him. And I had the same experience, and BlaXit got infiltrated by a woman who I helped. So, this can happen to anyone. So now I'm far more cautious and far more vigilant than I used to be, because, you turn around to give a helping hand, and like they said, when you see Marga dog, it turn around and bite you. And so that's what, in that case, it wasn't a Marga dog. It was, I don't want to say, because I don't want to insult anybody, but let's just say, anyway, I'll leave it a not so Marga dog. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that, don't give up on your plans to come back to Africa, okay? Please do not give up on your plans to come back to Africa. I don't want you to get complacent and think that where you are is where you're meant to be. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on right now, where we know that we're living in a racist, where you're living in a racist country where you're not really wanted, and they don't really want you there. They're just using you. But at the same time, you're not looking to get out, to go anywhere else. And we need to defeat that feeling of discomfort. I used to have that cognitive dissonance myself, because I knew I wasn't living in a place where I was supposed to be, but I was there to make the money. I was there, living, but I wasn't happy. I didn't feel free. I felt like I was, chained. I felt like someone used the analogy, I think it was Ibrahim, he used the analogy, I felt like I was in a Coke bottle. I was in an empty bottle with the lid screwed. And I couldn't get out. I felt choked. I felt suffocated when I was living there. I literally did. And then, I was like everybody else, doing the run day-to-day work, from work, shopping, back home, doing washing, doing ironing, and then back again, doing the same old routine over and over and over and over and over again, until I thought that's what life was. But it's not what life is. It really isn't. So we need to use that situation to do the capital flight, like I said, make the money, but at least so you can have a better life, because this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. You know what they're doing? They're creating the jobs, they're creating the businesses, creating the employment, so you work for them. And when they get their money, where are they retiring to? Africa. Where are they retiring to? The coastal homes. They're coming in, getting their homes in the coastal areas. They're making their their retreats. They're making their hotels. They're making their boutique hotels for you to come and stay in. Okay? And they're not like us. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is that it's time for us to do the same. It's time for us to realize, they took us out of the to their cold countries, while then they go back to the Caribbean and go and get their beach houses. Let it make sense. Let it make sense. The math is not mathing, fam. The math is not mathing. So all I'm saying is that, this is your opportunity in life, okay? To realize that you have choices that you can make that is going to better your life, okay? Psychologically, they've been playing mind games on us. I'm telling you, okay? They have been playing mind games on us. Serious mind games. And unless we wake up and smell the coffee, we're going to get stuck. Yeah? I'm glad I got out. I'm glad that I'm not stuck. But I don't want you to get stuck. Okay? I don't want you to get stuck. So my phone will be fixed. So hopefully I'll be back online soon. I gave you an update about my personal life, which I don't usually do, but I feel I owe it to you because you've been dedicated and loyal to me. And so I wanted you to know that's the reason why I haven't been as available as I usually am online. is because I had a slight illness. And then afterwards, like I said, I'm still enjoying this court case, which is taking up a lot of my energy and my time. And also farming. So farming is great. That's what I've got to say. And for anyone who wants to exercise to build those muscles that you don't see or you ever thought existed or could ever feel pain you, do some farming. I swear. Do some farming. So yeah, I've been doing some physical work, getting my hands dirty. Not afraid to do that. You understand? I think it's important to toil the earth, okay? And let your feet sink into that earth and balance in that beautiful earth. It's so wonderful here. Energy is absolutely amazing. And that's another thing. It's the energy. The energy is off in the West. Okay, the energy is off in the West. And I do believe our ancestors, are so grateful for you all breaking those intergenerational curses. Your ancestors are so happy for you remembering them. Your ancestors are so happy that you remember that, what they had to forsake, what they had to give up, what they had to suffer and endure for us to come here. So thank you so much for also remembering your ancestors, okay, because that is so, so important. If you look at most nations, they give a lot of worship to their ancestors. They give a lot of credence. They give a lot of credit. To their ancestors, and they haven't forgotten where they come from. They haven't forgotten where they have come from, and we also mustn't forget where we have come from. Okay. So today's been a bit of a mix-up live, a mash up. Yeah, not on any particular topic, just giving you a quick update. So yeah, just please keep watching and supporting Ibrahim Traoré. Let's keep with the actions. Please keep boycotting all of those French products. Also keep boycotting all of those American products, okay? Because the only way that we're going to enrich ourselves is by serving ourselves. The only way that we are going to better ourselves is by investing in ourselves. The only way in which we can make a change is by changing the way that we see ourselves. We need to see ourselves as valuable and important as everybody else, and if anything, even more so. Okay, even more so, and realize that you are African and you are African first. I want you all to be patriots of Africa. I want us all to feel patriotic about Africa. Africa has got so much to feel patriotic about. If it wasn't for us, there would be no cobalt for no phones. If it wasn't for us, there would be no rubber on those wheels. If it wasn't for us, okay, there will be no gold and diamonds in the abundance that they exist in now. If it wasn't for us, there would be no cocoa for everybody to be eating their chocolates from. If it wasn't for us, with the palm oil that we created, some of those biscuits that you chomp on with your tea wouldn't be happening. Some of the best coffee comes from Ethiopia. If it wasn't for us, okay, the world wouldn't be what it is. If it wasn't for our inventions. We invented the first toilet in 31,000 BC in Egypt. Don't let anyone twist you and tell you any lie. I said it before and someone took my words and twisted it and I said flushing toilet. I never said flushing toilet. I said the first toilet. And the first human brain was the first human computer, okay? And that's a black man, okay? That's a black man. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted at all, okay? We have had our own royalty from time immemorial till now, okay? So we don't need to rely on anybody else's. We have also our own spirituality and our own religions. We don't have to rely on anybody else. We have our own intellect, we have our own intelligence, and we have our own power sources, okay? There are even some trees that give power and some rocks that give power out here in Africa. Don't listen. I've got so much to say, but I don't want to keep going on and on and on and on when I said it was a quick update. Quick update should mean quick don't. I want to give, a big shout out to my family all over the world, including Jamaica, America, UK. Time for us to, come together. Time for us to, unite, and it's time for us to start building together here in Africa. We really need to invest in Africa, because that is where we need to invest. There's no point investing in the white man's land. I'm sorry to tell you that. Yeah. The only reason to invest there is if you're going to pull that investment out and you're going to come and invest in Africa. If you're going to pull that investment out and come and invest in Africa, because you make far more from investing in Africa than you do there, right? So take your investment out. Okay, take your investment out. I'm not saying not to invest. I'm saying when you do invest, know where you're going to reinvest. Okay, and that's the best, and that's Africa. All right, so BlaXit family, thank you so much for your time. I do apologize, like I said, for the slight parlay and delay and my absence and distance. I do apologize. I will be putting out some new information this week about Kartong, so do keep watching, and please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your subscriptions. Your subscriptions mean the world to me, and so does your lives. I'm going to get some water. I think my mouth's running dry. I've been talking too long. So I really do appreciate you so much, and I love you all so much. I love you for standing by me. Thank you so much for always supporting and always being there for BlaXit. Remember, BlaXit is all about us, okay? One nation, one destiny, one Africa, one love, okay? That is us. We are Africans. We must be proud and love our African self, okay? Love our African self. Love our African hair, love our African skin, love our African lips, love our African teeth, our African nose, our African eyes, our African skin, our African feet, our African hands, everything African, love it. Yeah, women, love your African titty them, whether they drop down or they hang high, love them. You understand? Okay. Sorry, and men, your African private parts too, okay, because they're unique. Okay, love you too. Take care. See you later. Bye.